Mike McCool here in the Royal Examiner studio, and with me today is a couple of entrepreneurs here in Front Royal. They have a company called Matrimont. And you ask, what is that? Well, we're going to find out. We have with us Declan O'Reilly and Joe Sladky. So they're a bunch of local boys who went to school out of town and come back to Front Royal because they love it here. So first of all, what is Matrimont? Who wants to tell me about that? Matrimont. It sounds like matrimony. Is there anything, Is that...
It does. It does. We created the name with this sort of it was a play on matrimony because what we kind of noticed is a lot of marketing companies, and obviously not all of them, but it's kind of like a one and done. You don't know who you're dealing with, and the whole point was to have a sort of an ongoing relationship where we grow together like a true marriage or, however it's supposed to go.
Yeah, like really about building that lasting relationship.
I think it is. Businesses should be about, that's the new business model, is to really build, learn what your lifetime value of your customers are and develop a relationship so you're looking for, everything's long-term instead of that short-term gain, Unlike our stock market, they want that short-term money, but we got to look at long-lasting, like our parent company, National Media, has been doing this 42 years. So we have a lot of relationships, and it takes time to build those. And that's kind of what you guys are about. So what does Matrimont do?
Yeah, so, we do a lot of stuff. We do website design, video editing. We actually just added a consulting element to what we're doing. We're building out a course right now. We're going to be having some course material coming soon. And then we also, host websites, do website maintenance.
A lot of social media management.
And a lot of social media marketing. That's a big thing we do for people. Running their Facebook, Instagram channels, and really pushing their content out there. And we see a lot of people who do social media marketing, and it's like one of the areas where we really make that better is we get that in front of more people, because you can post your page, but then it's actually like getting that in front of more people, like we were talking about earlier.
Sure.
Facebook's really cut down your reach a lot, so finding other ways to reach people with that.
It's not just as simple, you build it, they will come. That's kind of what people think it is. Well, I'm on the internet, I hear a lot of, I posted it on the internet. Well, that's kind of like, people say, well, how much does it cost? And I say, well, how much is a car? There's a lot of options.
Sure.
And I think that's what people don't realize. So what these guys have is really a marketing company, and they may not know that yet, but that's what it is. Because marketing is everything is marketing. And in today's world, it's all about social, and it's about web, it's about the internet, it's about information. It's why the Royal Examiner exists. It all comes to your phone, and that's really what it's about. I think people carry it around with them, and you have a way of getting people's businesses' messages out in front of their customers. That's what it's about?
Absolutely, yeah.
100%.
Yeah, and online it's the future.
So now what kind of people are you looking for to work with? Just mom and pop shops, big companies, little companies, what can you handle?
Yeah, so we work with a number of different like sizes of companies. We work with, we really like working with a lot of local, like smaller businesses. But we've worked with, like multi-million-dollar companies. We've worked with companies that are, 15 million plus. So, we work with a lot of different sizes.
I think a big thing that we kind of look for is companies that are hungry and really willing to grow, because when you kind of add our services to that, you can really have that explosive growth and get really great results. Because if people aren't really super interested, not picking up their phones, not really trying to play ball with us, or they just want,
they think you're going to do everything for them.
Exactly. And in reality, we're not running their business. We're just opening up doors.
I hear that a lot when people, they hire a marketing company and they think they can just sit back now and they're going to and I tell them, no one's going to blow your horn like you do. If you're not out there selling, and this is just a tool, marketing agencies are just a tool to help you do it and help you along the path. But if you don't get out there and provide the content, marketing companies really can't do a whole lot. You have to dig through the trenches. That's one of the things that in what we're doing as well. You have to sometimes dig for the information. Simple things that you think that everybody would know, like, what's your phone number? Like, where do you want this? Where do you want it to go? What do you want to try to offer? Well, just get our name out there. Or would we use word of mouth? Word of mouth advertising is developed through marketing.
It is.
People don't realize that. Word of mouth just didn't happen. And if true word of mouth takes a lot of years. And by the time you get it out there, your customers have died, so you got to start over again.
No, I think that's a really super important thing though. Is really having like that having them hungry though, and having them putting in their effort as well.
So it's like a partnership.
Exactly,
like a marriage. Here we go.
Yeah, it's right on the money.
Just because we can send people leads, we can send people traffic, we can get them out there, but if they're not picking up their phone, or if they don't have the structure in place kind of behind that on the backside of that to really handle the stuff that we're doing for them, then it's going to be useless.
Right. I think I mentioned that we had some conversation off camera, and I think I mentioned to you about the time I was looking for musicians, and I went to websites, hundreds of thousands of websites, and realizing that they didn't have an address, I didn't know where they were, they didn't have a phone number, and didn't have an email. And I'm thinking, you spent all this trouble, or the ones that did have an email never responded. They don't answer, or it was a bad email. So it's amazing. They spent money to build these websites and to put this marketing collateral out there, and then didn't follow through with it.
They make it hard, for you to reach out to them, which is ridiculous.
And so, we have all these tools to use for businesses, but somehow I think I like what you guys are doing. You're treating it like a relationship, and it's a joint venture. Meaning you just don't hire us and we do everything. If we have to rely on, and that's kind of what we've done too at Business Model, is we want to build relationships with our customers and our viewers and our readers as well. So we want to hear feedback from them. We want to provide information. I mean, every company should want to do that. And you should be able to answer the phone.
Absolutely.
Well, and here's an example of that. Right now, you hear it on the radio from this company. We're going to give them a plug, Ruby's. You heard of Ruby's? They're phone answering people.
Yeah.
People are doing, sort of getting automation, and people truly do hate automation. I mean, I don't care how you like it, but they do. They hate it.
No,
but
absolutely.
One of the things that you guys are doing is developing automation. But you need to, now the move is developing it with live people.
Yeah. 100%. I think it's about incorporating it in the right places. Like, for example, you don't want, if somebody wants to get in touch with their company and they want a specific service, they want to talk to a person, and that's where you got to have somebody to answer the phone for that.
Sure.
Now, if you've got something where, I don't know, you're sending out contracts or something, or something where you don't need like a person for that, then that's where it makes sense to have automation.
Sure.
Maybe certain systems like that, but really, when it comes to somebody trying to get in touch with you and get stuff done.
Well, I reached out to my mobile phone company by chat. Normally it's pretty good. Well, then they got all these AI bots. And so I send them my information, and the first thing they come back is, well, how can we help you? I said, did you read what I sent? Oh, you must want an agent.
Yeah. I know. I'm the guy. I stay on the phone there, and I'm just like, speak to an agent. Speak to an agent. I'll sit there and I'll just say that 10 times until they finally just put me through, because we don't understand what you're saying.
But that goes back to our marketing effort. What we're doing, we're trying to get our message out. But you need to work with some people that want you to develop a relationship with them, and I think that's...
Yeah, absolutely.
So do you have one particular thing like you guys are really good at? You how to use a computer?
I would say right now, we've done a lot of high-level websites. That's one thing I'd say. And we've had a lot of really great success with SEO, getting a lot of form submissions and phone calls and stuff like that, as far as organic. But I would say our social media has been pretty incredible. Just the growth we've had, and how many followers do we have on Instagram?
I think we're up to 17.2 now at the moment.
2,000.
And then we've got a bunch more on Facebook. And I'd say our social media, that's an area where we're really, really dominating. Even our LinkedIn, we've got a lot more. That's been really growing. So I'd say our social media is really powerful, and I think we're doing things in that space that I don't really see a lot of other people doing.
Especially for our clients too. Just
it is. It's good because social media. It's hard to. I was reading a statistic the other day. 1 in, I don't know what they say. 1 in 2. There's more people on social media than there's people in something like that. We have 6 billion people. There's 7 billion people on social media. Or somehow there's more people than there's more accounts than there are people. So basically everyone is on some sort of social media. There's always a handful. There's people that don't have a a phone.
But that's rare nowadays.
That's rare. Those are probably not your customers. So.
Yeah, no, I know. People will have a nice phone before they improve their house.
I know, it's crazy. People spend a lot of money on telephones. Of course, you see what they've done here now is coming February around here. They eliminated 2 and 3G phone service. So I got a message the other day on my BlackBerry. It said, "You have to replace your phone by February 22, or your service will stop."
Yeah, I know.
I'm kind of like, okay, now I got to look for another phone.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's kind of frustrating because you got one that gets the job done. You're just
I know.
like, I don't want to mess with the new one.
You got to move everything over to the
I
new
know.
one.
It's a lot. But anyway, when you work with people like yourself, we're going to have a team member that'll be assigned to us and someone we can talk to. It'll be our guy, and we have an account manager, and just you guys are all set up for things like that.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, we really make a strong effort to have somebody who's going to pick up the phone for you. We want to be the guys to pick up the phone. If there's anything I can't stand, it's when I try to get. And the thing is, too, like sometimes you'll be trying to get in touch with the company, and you're trying to buy stuff from them, and it's like you can't get in touch with somebody.
It's like you were saying earlier.
I'm trying to buy your stuff, guys. Like,
I called a company today, one of our suppliers, and I got the standard auto attendant, and it's the auto attendant's like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And all the choices was not one about how can I buy your product.
Yeah. At the very least, like have somebody answering the phone for people who want to buy stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, you should have it there for support as well. But at the very least, make it easy for people to buy your stuff.
The other side was, I remember I answered the phone direct the other day, and the guy said, "I wanted to leave a voicemail." He didn't want to. I don't want to talk to anybody. But that happens very rare. But that's what we did. We put our attendant up. Used to have that press 1 for this and 2. Now it just says, "You've called National Media Services. If you know who you're going to call, dial it. If not, hit the operator and someone will talk to you." Keep it simple.
Yeah, simple is always better. Simple is always better. Yeah, we tend to overcomplicate things as people, I feel like.
And our social media marketing is the same way. Keep it simple, but there are certain rules of the game which change all the time. And that's why you need somebody like these guys that stay on top of it and become experts in that field. And because as soon as you think you figured it out, Facebook, Google, somebody they
change it on you.
Yeah,
and you mentioned SEO. Everybody, if you don't know anything about SEO, search engine optimization, those rules have changed like every week. As soon as you think you don't try. And another thing, don't try to think you figured it out, because they'll blackball you.
It's like you're in school forever. It just never goes out.
Yeah. You always learning, always improving, always getting better. I mean, that's just the name of the game. I once I graduated school, I thought I was done learning, and then I realized that was just the beginning. That was just like preschool and like figuring out like how to learn stuff, and then like it's necessary to learn stuff. Like I probably learn more now than I did in school because I'm always studying, always.
Well, I always tell people you need to be a lifelong learner.
Absolutely, that's a great way to put it. Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, you hear the joke about if you want to learn how to run your DVR or program your computer, get your grandson on there. These are your grandsons. Call these guys up if you want to. They're young. I think they shave.
Once a week.
But truthfully, these are the kind of guys you need when you're looking for doing this internet stuff and social media marketing and things like that. And good luck on your venture. How long have you been, by the way, you've started this when?
Yeah, so we got going. So with Matrimont, we officially filed for like our LLC back in February of 2021. Okay. But we kind of picked up some clients before then, and we actually operated under like a few different other names, kind of shut those down and really kind of like moved into what we're doing now with Matrimont.
Made it legit.
Yeah, it really kind of like solidified things. I mean, Declan's 22, I'm 22. Is that right? 22 right now? We're both 22 right now. When we both started this, we were both 21. Yeah. Like, I mean, we're super young guys. Just kind of going at it.
Well, I think another thing is we definitely we crashed and burned a couple times. Sure. So and then it's part of the learning process. So finally,
you're developing a relationship.
Yeah. I mean, like, just even like there's like a lot of legal stuff where it's just like And it might seem basic, now, but like even just something as simple as getting an LLC set up, making sure you're doing that correctly, just understanding different regulations, things like that, like how to even just collect payments online, like it's just so many like basic things, just figuring that stuff out, and there's definitely a learning curve with that, but
lifelong learner, so it's just the beginning, guys.
Just the beginning.
And as you start working with customers and building relationships, you're gonna find out what they need. And you're going to say, maybe I need that too.
Yeah.
Or I'd never thought of that.
No, absolutely, yeah. So definitely always learning with that. And I think the biggest thing, and this is where Declan, he's been really good at kind of like, I tend to think about things a lot. Declan's very like, Like, let's do it. Let's get it done.
Let's see if it works. If it don't work, we'll change.
No, exactly.
I'm the trigger puller. He's the brain.
Yeah, so I'm like really thinking things through. But Declan really has kind of pushed us to take action, move along with stuff, and I think that's super powerful. I think that's really important for anyone who's got a business is just going ahead and doing stuff and just moving and just doing something, seeing how it turns out, and just taking action because. Right. I mean, that's where we all mess up.
It's a low-cost option nowadays. With the electronic media and the social media, you can try something and test it. That's the one great thing about if you've been into advertising or any kind of marketing, social media allows you to test things at a very low cost.
Absolutely.
And then you can decide, well, that's not working, or let's try it again next week. Because, it's always that A/B test. Sometimes just changing a word, changing a picture.
Changing a word, color, picture, et cetera.
Even in the print world, I was at a news bookstore years ago when they had bookstores, and I've noticed on the cover, here was a book with 5 different covers. Here's a magazine. Time magazine would put out regional covers on their magazines to test and see which one was moving. And they're always,
even back then,
they change it and put book covers and see the old saying, you judge a book by the cover, and people do. So
yeah.
Well, I just really want to give you guys a plug out there and help you out.
Appreciate it.
And I think you guys are doing a great job. And they're located here in Front Royal. Real easy to find. They're right above the DL Coffee Shop. So, you get coffee, bring it upstairs. They got a little meeting room there. They do a lot of stuff. So you need to check them out. Their website, I'll put the link here in the story. They can check you guys out. They're local guys. They grew up here in Front Royal.
Born and raised
right here. So people like to keep things local. They really do. And so it's good to have these companies and people coming in and starting these businesses in our community because you're on the ground floor and you're really getting into this at a good time and at the right age. And I think you guys have a long way to go.
Yeah, I mean, we really saw a need for this in the area. And even I think I was telling you, I mean, I moved out of state for a little bit, for a few years. I moved out to Illinois and came back, and I really, it's funny, once you move away from Front Royal, you definitely, when you come back, you appreciate it a lot more. And Main Street's gotten a lot better. Things are really improving around here, so it's really good to see.
Even for young people.
Yeah, no, even for young people, there's a lot of new opportunities, a lot of new things come into the area. So that's really, really cool.
Yeah, it's great when you get a perspective of, when you're growing up, especially through high school. I can't wait till I get out of here and move, and I'm going to go here. And after you've done it, like I said, I've been around the world, and I keep. When you choose, it's kind of like being adopted. People chose you. And so it's like you've adopted this community. You chose it, and you weren't forced to be here like you were when you were younger.
Yeah, no, for sure.
And that's another thing great about this country. You can live anywhere you want.
Yeah, no, you can.
Sure, you pick.
You pay. You pick it. You can move. The people. Oh, I don't want to move.
Yeah.
What's stopping you?
No, I know.
I tell people all the time. Oh, I said, well, this is a right to work state, but it's also a right to quit state. You don't need a reason to quit. You don't need a reason to, vice versa. So, pick up and pack that bag. And in my day, you stuck your thumb out, but you don't do that.
Yeah, I know. But.
We could talk all day.
Yeah.
Joe, it's nice meeting you, and Declan, appreciate it. And we'll come back here in a couple months and see how well you've done.
Absolutely.
I'm going to let them do some of my social media work, so we'll see how well they do. And then
we'll do it.
We'll give them a rating 1 to 5, and we'll see how good they do.
Yeah, we'll get a 10. We're going to knock it out of the park. But hey, can I add one? Can I add one other thing in there real quick? Of course. Yeah. So I just want to throw this out there for other people who are super young. As you can see, Declan and I, we're young guys, and really. If you've got something you want to do, you've got a dream, you've got something, go ahead and just go for it. You don't have to be, 40 years old to start a company. You don't have to, or to go try to get that job or do whatever you're trying to do. Really, the best time to take action is now. So go out there and get it.
Right. You don't need that. I mean, it's nice to have a college education, but it's not necessary. There's millions of jobs open right now for people that just want somebody to learn. We've got a job opening, in our print department, running the digital press.
That's right.
And you don't have to have a college education to do it. You just have to have a desire and a little bit of mechanical dexterity and walk and chew gum and know how to turn a computer on. And we're willing to train people. And I think a lot of people are that way. I mean, there's a lot of jobs that turn into something really good. And it's great.
And the opportunity to learn, like you're saying, you'll be training people. I think that's so important. Really always be learning. And if you've got a job like that, or you have an opportunity where somebody's willing to train you, take advantage of that.
Sure.
Because you can learn and make money.
That's right.
What's better than that?
Yeah.
unpaid interns are better, but no.
Yeah.
Well, for the person.
Oh, it's so great. Anyway, nice to see these guys. They are young. They got hair, and everything is great. So check them out. We'll get the link below the story. Thanks again,
a lot.
guys.
Hey, really
Thanks
appreciate you
again.
having us out.
Thanks again, guys.